I've always had issues with people making sweeping statements. And what I'm going to say might seem like one. Let's see if I can prove it otherwise. The state of Delhi has a split personality. There is one Delhi that most of us are aware of and experience on a day-to-day basis. The best it has to offer can be seen in central Delhi. Wide roads, relatively disciplined traffic, visibly scared of obvious police presence, beautifully manicured circles that lead onto roads named after kings of eras gone by, and post-independence leaders of undeniable respect. The Rashtrapati Bhavan, North and South Block, and Parliament reflect the highest political and bureaucratic influence. And just a short distance away lies CP, or whatever the name that may be called by now, yet another legacy of the British Raj in all its glory and white splendor. But there is yet another Delhi which we visit much less often, of course unless one has had the opportunity to work there or goes there on a school study tour. And while it is a part of the state of Delhi, it is not a part of the capital of India, New Delhi. I think you've got it now. Yes, I'm talking about Old Delhi, of which Shahjahanabad is a part. This was constructed centuries back, more precisely in 1639 by Shah Jahan, when he shifted his capital from Agra to Delhi. Being a military man, I can't help first define the boundaries of Shahjahanabad. And as would be expected, these were physically outlined by a wall. Ingress and egress through this wall was controlled by 14 gates. Most disappeared through a combination of British developmental requirements like railway lines and subsequent residential and business pressures. However, the ones that remain are symbolic of not only what they once separated from Shahjahanabad, but more importantly, what they helped develop into a syncretic culture inside its embrace. I rode with my son from central Delhi to 4 of the surviving gates of Shahjahanabad, which stand out amidst, not the ruins, but the masses of buildings. One can almost miss their location and presence, and more importantly, their place in history, one of the defining elements of Shahjahanabad's legacy. All the gates of Shahjahanabad were named after destinations they led travelers to. So Kashmiri Gate led to Kashmir, Ajmeri Gate to Ajmer, and so on. Dilli Darwaza, or as it was called later, Dilli Gate, is located on the southern periphery of Shahjahanabad. Interestingly, both the Red Fort and Shahjahanabad's periphery have a Dilli Gate. In the context of the outer boundary, we are referring to Dilli Gate beyond the Red Fort, given the logic of the gates being named after their destinations. Why then would this gate be called Dilli Gate? Because back in history, Shahjahanabad was described as Nai Delhi, while present-day Mehrauli, which was its older version, was referred to as Purani Delhi or Old Delhi. And this gate actually led a traveller towards Mehrauli. What an irony to find the royal and regal capital of Shah Jahan, now called Purani Delhi or Old Delhi. Our next destination was Turkman Darwaza or Turkman Gate. It is named in the memory of the Sufi saint Shah Turkman Bayabani. The gate stands in isolation today, bereft of its linking walls. The road beyond the gate leads to Chawdi Bazaar, one of the busiest business centers in Old Delhi area. While I was busy taking shots of the area, I found my son surrounded along with our 2 folding cycles. As I came close, I realized that the inquisitiveness of the crowd had drawn them into a close circle. Given the multiple queries, I decided to give a demonstration of the folding bicycle rather than leaving them unconvinced with our answers. So, this was the conversation that followed.
ठीक है, और ये पूरा स्टील फ्रेम का है। ये जो है एल्यूमिनियम फ्रेम किया मगर फिर भी भारी है, ठीक है। और ये जो है ये बनती है लंदन में, ठीक है। और इसका खास जो यूज़ है वो सिटी के लिए, क्योंकि फोल्ड होकर छोटा साइज बन जाता है। और साइज कितना बनता है? 60 सेंटीमीटर बाय 60 सेंटीमीटर। गाँव के यूज़ के लिए, मतलब गाँव के यूज़ के लिए, क्योंकि पतला टायर है, छोटा टायर है, ठीक है।
वजन कितना कोट लेगी थी?
वजन आप कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, 6 फुट 4 इंच का आदमी बैठ सकता है। आपने देखा यूके में कितने ऊंचे लोग हैं, भारी भी हमारे से ज़्यादा, सब बैठ जाते हैं, ठीक है। चलिए बैठी नहीं है वैसे, अभी आपको दिखाता हूँ फोल्डिंग इसकी कैसे होती है, ठीक है।
कमाल की चीज
ये हो गया और ये उठा के अब
बहुत अच्छा रखना भाई साहब।
ये अभी तो है, अभी अभी के लिए तो है।
Ajmeri Gate or Ajmeri Darwaza was equally interesting, though less eventful. The area is one of the communications and business hubs of the area. It is in the vicinity of the New Delhi railway station, Chawdi Bazar and Chandni Chowk. It was also the location of one of the battles of 1857 fought during the revolt. The last of the gates and perhaps the most significant is Kashmiri Gate. This has a dual entrance structure which still has a short connecting wall on both the sides. This site witnessed a major standoff between soldiers who revolted in 1857 and the British East India Company officers and troops. While I intend to cover this battle in detail in a separate episode, suffice to say here that there continues to be adequate historical evidence to suggest that the contest remained stiff between opposing forces at this location. These gates were some of the identifiable and significant imprints of Shahjahanabad's history. These, while remaining on its periphery, became symbols of not only its power and influence, but more importantly, its soul and character. And as compared to New Delhi, which has transformed itself, this area remains a relic of the past, both in terms of its landmarks and the people. More of that in an upcoming episode. Until then, goodbye.